The following program is produced by Marshfield Community Television.
Well, today on our cooking episode, we have a special guest, Todd Diedrich, and I feel really odd because Todd works with the Marshfield Community TV, or you have, do you still?
Yes, I still do.
Okay,
yes.
so he's always the interviewer, and
Yeah, so it's a different role for me, right? But you're the expert today, so
Right.
I'm going to be the guest.
exactly. So this is my our guest, Todd, and it's a special episode because we felt really privileged to be able to make a dinner for your mission, fundraiser, and so we're actually going to be making a couple of Cambodian items today. So before we start cooking, we would like you just to share with the audience, what your goal is for this trip to Cambodia, and how you even got started and your thoughts about Cambodia.
Sure. Well, it's a long story. Let me start by saying that. So I'll give the short version, just because we have to get down to business and details.
Exactly.
So our church, Northridge Church, each year does a large missions banquet or missions conference where we focus on a specific need or a specific country, and we fundraise for that country and that specific need. So this year, our country that we chose was Cambodia. And in Cambodia, we were building a school for children who have never been to school before. So imagine in a village of several hundred people, little kids from 1 year all the way through 8 to 10-year-old. They've never been in school ever at all. They have no idea what a school looks like or what school means in terms of education. So earlier this year in June, I had the opportunity to go to Cambodia and physically see one of the villages that have had no school and no official training of their children at all. And so it kind of touched my heart, and I came back and we decided that we were going to focus on Cambodia to raise funds to physically help build a school in a village. And so that was our focus. So as we began to work through the details and talk about, well, what should that look like and what should it feel like and who should we invite, it was just a natural connection to call my friends here at Slice of Heaven and engage them in the process of creating a Cambodian meal. So Gary and Ruth were very instrumental in finding meals and cuisine and desserts and all kinds of things that were Cambodian in flair and Cambodian in nature. And so we settled on a curry dish and something that we're going to make today, a very special pound cake. And it was delicious, let me tell you. Yes, we love that. And also a special Cambodian tea that was very common in the country place. And so as a result of all of the connections and going and touching and smelling some very unique odors, let me tell you, it was a great experience, and came back and put the banquet together. And we were able to fundraise for the school a little bit over $30,000 for the one evening event. And so it was quite an evening, and after the banquet, they came up to me and they said, "You don't have any idea how real you made it look. Aside from the smells and the taste, you nailed it in terms of that." So they really enjoyed the meal and in the company, and obviously we helped do a good thing to help bring some stability to the country of Cambodia.
So we're going to make 4 cups of the Thai tea.
Okay.
So Gary's going to boil
Put that on stove
that.
right now.
And then when I was doing some research on what kind of tea, to buy, I went online, and you can get this brand on Amazon and lots of different, places. But then our daughter Megan lives in Madison, and they were coming to help, with the event. So there's obviously lots of Asian grocery stores around. So she picked up, this tea for us.
Wow.
And this is the texture. So it's actually a mixture of black tea, and there's cardamom and vanilla bean and other spices, I think, in here. So when I initially thought that we were going to make this Thai tea, I just thought it was black tea. Well, then finally, about a week and a half or so before the event, and I'm looking up how do you make Thai tea, I really panicked because it's not just black tea.
Oh, sure.
So.
And I will tell you, in Cambodia, tea is very, very popular. They serve that with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then traditionally, even before you go to bed, we were often offered tea
Sure.
as that
And that's the
night
beverage,
drink.
right.
Yes.
And what we have found, we had water on the table, but without ice. And in Europe even, and
Yes.
Asia, and a lot
Very
of these
common.
other countries.
Yeah.
So after
Okay,
that
let that
boils,
boil.
then you're going to be adding, so for 4 cups of water, you're going to add a cup of this tea and a
then
quarter
a
of a
quarter
cup
cup of sugar for
and
the
that's
4
what gives
cups.
it the sweetness,
Yeah.
okay? So while Gary is waiting for that water to
I'm gonna
boil.
watch my water so I don't ruin anything.
Okay.
And I'm gonna watch
So-
you guys over
Yep,
at
so we're
the
gonna
same time.
burn the water.
So we're
Burn
going to
the
start
water.
making this coconut. So I'm going to
Okay.
switch
Oh, okay,
spots with
excellent.
you.
All right.
Okay, so this is our coconut pound cake. We already have our fluted pan ready to go. Some of the recipes are just in a 9 by 13 pan, but I
Okay.
thought it looks nicer when it gives it a little bit
did.
different
It was a
shape,
great
you know?
look. Yes, yes.
So we have greased and floured our pan, so that's all set to go.
Good.
So we are going to, start out with 1.5 cups of
And
sugar.
these are all pre-measured. I don't have to worry about it. All right.
1.5 cups of sugar and a 1/2 cup, which is 1 stick of melted butter.
Okay.
And then you can take your spatula scraper there and just scrape out the rest of the butter.
Okay, we have to get every
Not want not. That's what my
Okay.
mother always said.
Nice. So do I have to do the dishes later too?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gary, that you don't
I do the dishes. That's one of my most important jobs.
nice.
So then we're going to just let you do it. Now, have you ever worked with a mix at all?
Mac and cheese out of a box.
Okay,
Yes,
so-
okay. I know you've got your work cut out.
So we got this
Okay.
on medium. So what I
You just
do,
don't put your finger in those little things they call beaters. Keep your finger
Nice.
so you just take your spatula and just kind of go around.
Oh, okay, got
So
it.
we're going to cream that until it's all kind of,
Okay.
mixed in together there.
So how long does the prep take from start to finish to the product?
Just probably, the prep time here is probably going to take us about 10 minutes maybe.
All right.
As long as I got everything all laid out.
Okay. So easy
20
enough
minutes,
for
it's very,
people
very
to get
easy.
through in a short
Right.
period? Okay.
And really everything that we're putting into this are all the ingredients, many of them you're going to have in your house.
Okay.
Otherwise, the only thing really you might not have would be coconut, if you don't have shredded coconut,
sure,
and
okay.
then the coconut milk. Okay, so next we are going to...
We're good here? That's
we're
looking
good.
all right?
So that's creamed. And then the next thing we're going to do is
I
we're
can
going to...
stop now?
Nope, you can just keep going.
Keep going? Okay.
So we're going to have 4 eggs, and we're going to crack them and put them in one at a time.
Okay.
So on many shows ago, I learned from a Taste of Home demonstration that came to Marshfield.
Yes.
If you crack 2 eggs together, only one of the eggs cracks.
Really?
It's amazing,
I would
but
not have known that. Oh, we've got some things happening in here. It's getting a little fluffy.
yep, so you can just kind of put that towards the middle
Okay.
and get that first egg. And we're just doing 1 egg at a time till it's totally incorporated, then we
Okay.
add the next egg. Okay, so now we will turn this off. That looks really good.
All right, excellent.
So the next things that we're going to add are 3/4 of a cup of coconut milk, and that just actually comes in a can. And there's a variety of different cans,
So,
that you
Again,
can
not
buy.
a hard product to find
No.
in terms of availability.
Right. A 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, not soda.
Okay.
Just a dash of salt, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. That's about 1 teaspoon, and that's about another teaspoon.
Oh, I'm just going to believe you because, okay, that's just how it is. All right, see, you make cooking look easy. You just shake the can and there you go.
Sometimes, with baking powder, baking soda, you need to
You
be
need to
accurate.
measure, okay.
Things like this, we're good.
Again, way too easy.
Yeah. And then when that's all incorporated, which looks really good,
Okay.
we're going to add in 2 cups, and this is already pre-sifted flour. And then the recipe calls for about 1/4 of a cup of coconut, and I have a little bit more than that. It calls for unsweetened coconut. Mine's actually sweetened, and I don't know if that extra sweetness made it better or worse.
I don't know, but it was
but
very
it
good.
That's what I thought. And then you just finish, beating this in,
Okay.
and that's all that it is.
Is this an expensive dish to make in terms of cost for families?
No, not really. I didn't really add in exactly what the cost would be, but the flour, sugar, vanilla, because they're not in huge quantities. You may have $3 to $4 with your eggs. Our eggs are actually one of our more expensive items now because of eggs being so expensive.
Okay.
So we're good. So then what I do is just bring this up.
Careful. Now, I would have had that all across the kitchen.
So we just do that gently like that.
I see that.
Probably the biggest challenge of this is just putting it in your pan.
This looks good, Ruth?
Yes, that looks great. Without getting it in the hole, just kind of,
so
put
you
it
think
in.
I can do that?
We're going to try.
Try. Okay, I don't know. We're going to try. I'll keep it out of the.
As you're doing that, I'm going to just try to
Okay,
move
excellent.
the bowl a little bit for you.
Perfect.
I tend to do more of the baking. I mean, Gary helps. He's our scone maker. But I tend to do more of the baking, and I kind of leave, making the curry and, a lot of the other cooking.
Salads and the cooking part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
To Gary.
Okay. And so, how long does this take us to
So
bake
this is
now?
going to bake at a preheated oven, 325 degrees.
Okay.
The recipe says 60 minutes, and I think I baked them for 40 to 45. 60.
Okay, so just a little bit less
Right, I'll
than.
take
All right.
this. Perfect. And it's all set to go in the oven.
Nice. Gary, look at that. My first pound cake.
Fantastic.
All right. So we've got the oven already preheated.
Preheated,
Looks like is your water all right there?
Water's all set.
We're
and
good
it's
to go?
still anything, so we're
All
good.
right. So we're good to go. And just slip it in there. All right.
Perfect. And
Sure,
So
yep.
we're just going to dump this in. We're not going to. We don't want this in our tea though.
No, we're going to show you a little trick.
Oh, okay. All right. So just dump it in, both all at the same time.
Yes.
Is that the?
Yep, you can do
Okay.
that.
All right.
I'm just going to stir. Yep. Perfect.
All right.
And now I'm going to just stir it around.
So I'm anxious to see your trick. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's some sort of strainer. I'm guessing.
You've got it right over there. Ruth is going to bring that over.
And-
Nice.
Would you do that,
And we
Ruthie?
tried 2 or 3 different things kind of unsuccessfully until we finally came up with, we've had our business for 6 years, and I've had some of the same dish towels for 6 years, but some of them got to not looking so great.
Oh,
So I thought, what a great use
It's
for
your
old dish
screen.
towels.
It's a threadbare dishcloth.
It is.
Dish
So
towel.
we just cut these in half. We put them in, we made gallons for your event.
Sure.
But only 4 cups, so we're just going to put it in this, measuring cup so you can see what it looks like.
And how long must we leave those tea leaves or pieces in there? Is it a
We're going to
certain time?
strain it right
We're
now.
going to strain it
Oh,
right now.
so it's done
Yep,
already?
so
Or
it's
will
done.
be done?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's done already. A sieve or a strainer, kind of a wire strainer, but it wasn't fine enough, so that's why we finally went to the cloth.
Okay.
You could buy cheesecloth as well.
And
if
they
you
were
wanted to.
different methods. I mean, they even suggested if you had, your old pantyhose that you're not wearing anymore, you could even use.
Sure, yeah.
Well, I guess whatever it takes, right?
What other things?
Well,
did they-
thanks for using the tape or the cloth here for us.
Yes. Okay, then we're just gonna just pull it up now.
Yeah, it's going to
All
come up.
sides.
Just bring
No,
that
it's
right
very
up.
hot, obviously. It's
Sure.
just was boiling water. And that is
And
all
those
gonna
tea
go-
leaves are pretty disgusting, so we're just
that
going
has
to
to
put that
be
right in here.
An awfully, I don't know what word to use, potent tea that it really
Very.
is just
It
stir and
is.
strain. I mean, that quickly, unlike a coffee that goes through kind of a percolation
Right,
process.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and we actually made, well, I guess we made it the day before, but you can make it up to like a week before if
Okay,
you want.
wow.
But we have some all set to go that we are going to try. Pour in your tea to about an
Maybe
inch,
about an inch.
about an inch from the top.
Okay.
A little bit
A
more.
little more?
Okay. Okay, and then what you can do, Todd, is then you just
Right.
very carefully just drizzle kind of like around.
Just a circular,
Mm-hmm.
how much do I put in?
Yep, that's good.
Is that enough?
That's
Okay.
enough, yep. And this is half and half, and for your event, we actually had evaporated milk. So you can use either one.
Ooh, look at how
And we're
it
gonna put-
kind of
comes
rainbows
down.
down.
Let me grab
Yeah, I
a
see that.
rag
Nice.
here.
Wow.
So
All right, so now this I get.
this is what
This
you
is the
get.
part you can do this
All right,
without a lot of
I
practice.
can do this without any practice, and
Yes.
it's nothing that's ruined. All right.
No. So this-
Nice.
And
Yeah.
one of the recipes I saw also had a glaze you could put on it,
Oh, really?
but I didn't.
That's exactly what I remember. Very good.
Stir it up.
That's how I remember it too.
Fun. Yeah, it was a great taste.
And they suggested having it with the straw because that helps bring out the flavors better than if you just drank it from the glass too.
Yeah, so if you are definitely a tea lover, you would love this. I mean, it's a fairly strong
It's a strong tea flavor.
but it's not bitter.
No.
Like some teas, and
Right.
obviously it's the sugar that probably adds
It
that.
helps it from being bitter. So from Cooking with Ruth, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of our Cambodian cuisine. Until next time, happy cooking.
I mean, yeah, Nam Turk
Dung.
Duong. Is it Dung?
D-O-U-N-G.
Yeah, Dung.
Yeah.
Like who flung
Num Turk Dung.
Uh-oh, I think we're on camera already.
Just try not to talk too much.
Okay.
I am the clapper.